Hey guys, as always, it's the Digital Pumpkin Cat, and today I will be talking about Lowe's 2025 Halloween animatronic lineup. Now, as you can tell by the thumbnail, I'm not the biggest fan of their lineup so far, but remember this is part 1, of course not their full lineup. From the official names, we do have a lot more to go, but hey, we might even get a part 3. But for now, this is part 1, so we'll see where it goes. And I'll make part 2 whenever I have enough props to talk about. But yeah, so it's the different parts, which are the leaks. And then when we get to the manager meeting, that'll be my full lineup video with all the demos. And then, we'll be seeing them in stores. So that's my whole kind of, I guess, system for lineups. So tell me if you like that. And some of these are my first time seeing them, so you'll kind of get my first reactions, which is pretty cool. So we'll be starting off with the licensed props. Let's get started. So, starting off with Emily and Victor from The Corpse Bride. Now, where have we seen these two before? Lowe's obviously made these two knowing that spirits were in existence, because I don't see how they couldn't. But they obviously meant it to be a competition, and they obviously thought they were going to win. But I can tell you now, they probably win in the looks department. I don't know how they can top off... I don't know how they can top off the animation that Spirit has.
Wait.
This definitely isn't made by Jemmy, so my next assume would probably be Techie. And, Techie is just starting with servos. Jemmy doesn't even do servos. SVI, if this was made by SVI, there's a huge possibility in terms of servos there. But I still doubt it's going to have servos no matter what manufacturer this is. Now, the animation, of course, might not be as good, and it's probably a guarantee it won't be as good. The looks, let's take a look at them one at a time. Victor, his face is much more slim than the spirit ones. I found the spirit one's face and body to be a little more bulked out because it had that plastic body shaping. And of course, I think Victor's body and face shape is more accurate because, he's a Tim Burton character. He's gonna be like Jack Skellington skinny. The hair is really cool too. I like how they did that. I'm pretty sure that's not actual hair, that's probably plastic. The neck is a little long. It's like 10 feet tall. I don't know why he's pointing the ring down instead of up like the Spirits one, but that right there could probably be an animation, so hopefully, because that would be pretty cool. The shoes are minuscule. I can't imagine feet stepping into there. And Emily, I really, really love how Emily looks. The Spirit Emily, I did say this about her, she doesn't look as good as the Victor. And, I know Haunt Former thinks otherwise, but the dress was a little weird.
You kept your promise.
Not much detail going on there, and I don't know, I just didn't like it as much. And the face and the body had the same problems as Victor did. And, of course, this face is much more slim. The hair is really good. She's got the veil, even. The flowers are super detailed. She's got that one skeletal arm. The dress is perfect. I know this is prototypes, obviously. But on this one, the dress is perfect. And, of course, she's got the skeleton leg peeking out, which I think is a really, really cool detail with that boot. And, of course, the base is like a 10-footer base down there. And I think these two are really, really cool in terms of looks, and would probably in terms of looks, again, would probably what you would see on if they ever made a Corpse Bride ride. These two would probably be the animatronics that you would see on that. And people are saying these are PNGs from the movie that are put onto bases and called props, and these aren't the actual props. No. What idiot told you that? You can see the light coming from that. That is definitely plastic. That is not a PNG of clay. This is definitely plastic, animatronic, inner workings right here that are soon to be released. and I am very, very excited. Probably not winning in the animation. Audio could be anything, but looks took the cake 100% and is probably going to end up being better than Spirits. $400 probably for each one, but you tell me which one's more worth it. Let's move on to the next licensed props. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, times 3. Finally. Lowe's, Jemmy, a little tiny bit quicker next time. Got a little slow back there, but finally, little quicker next time. We've been waiting, still waiting on that Hatbox Ghost, by the way. So whenever you want to release that, we'll be ready. Okay, for now we've got the Hitchhiking Ghost, which was my second preference in terms of Haunted Mansion stuff. So I'm happy. But even though we got Hitchhiking Ghost animatronics, they're already getting hate. Do I hate them? Well, let's just take a look at them. So, we've got... Okay, let's see if I remember their names. Phineas, the one on the left, the Traveler, with his sack of goodies right there. Ezra, the skeleton guy, the con artist back there with the hat, the tall, skinny one. And then Gus, the prisoner, with his, for some reason, blue ball. I don't know why that's so blue. It's supposed to be a prisoner ball, but blue, I don't really care. I actually kind of like the blue. He's a ghost, for God's sake. Let's just take a look at these guys. I love them. I know they look pretty wonky. I don't like how Phineas doesn't have any pants or legs, for that matter. Maybe his shirt is just really long and he has legs somewhere, but I don't see any legs. Gus never had legs, and for some reason Ezra is the only guy who has legs here. So Phineas needs legs. I don't know where those went, but I mean, they've got the character down. He is pretty bulky with that sack. I see half of his hand is cut off because of the picture, so he doesn't have a minuscule hand. And I like his face. I will say these 3 faces are really, really accurate. So Jemmy, great job. I've noticed Jemmy is getting pretty good on faces. I'm not saying quality or anything, but faces in general, sculpting. These 3 guys are really, really accurate from the faces. Really good job. The caretaker, the knight, they were all good. The Leatherface, pretty accurate stuff from Jemmy. The Pennywise, I can go on forever. So pretty accurate stuff in terms of the sculpting department. I wish the collars didn't cover their necks. That looks kind of weird. But I like how Phineas looks. Ezra, of course, looks the best. And Gus, man, I love Gus. I just love Gus. They've got the hair down. They've got the bushy beard down. They've got everything down on Gus. Gus is probably the most accurate. I just really love these guys. I don't get the hate. The people who are already hating it just probably don't like Haunted Mansion, and I get that. But me being a Haunted Mansion fan and me having my whole haunt revolve around Haunted Mansion, I'm gonna love these guys. I don't even care what the animation is gonna be, even though I'm gonna probably guess, if I was gonna make a bold statement here, they're gonna have the Haunted Mansion theme in the background, which, classic. I don't know what else we could want for audio. And I hope they have volume control this time. I hope the animation would be Ezra with the hand. I hope that moves. I hope, not Ezra, I mean Phineas on the left with the hands, because, they're Hitchhiking Ghost. He's hailing a cab or whatever. I hope that moves left to right. I hope Ezra has his top hat coming on and coming off. And Gus, I don't know what Gus could do. Maybe he could move his hand too. Maybe to do something different, he could move his head back and forth. I don't know. I just hope all three of these have a certain animation, and hopefully a different animation. But I mean, if it comes down to like Ezra just having the animation, it's gonna look kind of crappy. I just hope they all have animation. They do look really cool though. Probably pretty pricey, like around 350, 400. But you know what? I'm taking them. They're Haunted Mansion, for God's sake. And I hope their sizes are accurate. They look pretty accurate. They're going to sound accurate. I don't know how they wouldn't sound accurate. And they're really, really cool. Honestly, Jemmy, you kind of nailed it. I kind of love it. Good job. Moving on from our competitive license props, we've got the more original ideas that Lowe's, Jemmy, Techie, and SVI has in store for us, aka probably the exciting part for most of you. Starting off with probably a lot of people's favorites of the year, the prop that's going to be on everyone's thumbnails for 2025, probably including mine, the heavy hitter of Lowe's, the one we're going to see around houses year after year, the 12-foot vampire. I can already tell this guy's going to be really, really popular. Another 12-footer from Techie. Now, this guy, in my opinion, may just be better than the Nosferatu from Home Depot, which, if you watch my other videos, I think is very underrated, and I honestly really love it. So, there you go. Let's take a deep dive into this guy. The clothes, immaculate. I love the clothes. So much detail. They look great quality. I love the lighting down there. It kind of looks like he's burning, which would be pretty cool on its own, like a burning vampire prop. But I don't think it works for his bottom half to be burning. But I mean, it's pretty cool that it's there. It's a nice little light effect. The lantern is cool. Hands, nothing to say. But yeah, I like the lantern. The lantern is actually very beautifully sculpted. The face, I wish there was a little more detail, but it has that nice Nosferatu type vibe to it. And this is a prop that I would not care about the lights in the eyes. I know I care a lot, but fine. And yeah, really, really cool. Love it. But that all said, this may just be on the bottom half of Lowe's 2025. Now, do I love their lineup more than a lot of people do? Because that is a very bold statement. Well, if you read the thumbnail, no. So, confused, are you? I don't like this guy. All of the stuff I said about him is true, would be true, if he was a life size. You can't go making stuff giant if it doesn't have to be giant. 12-foot Scarecrow, fine. 12-foot monster Gravedigger. On Edge, be my guest. Fine, we get a lot of Gravediggers. At least this is unique. 12-foot Ghost, 12-foot Scarecrow, 12-foot Mummy. We don't get a lot of them. At least they're unique. Fine. Halloween doesn't always have to make sense. 12-foot vampire. I'm sick of it. This would be so cool. 7, 8 even. 6 feet would be most preferred. It would be so cool if I could just look face to face in this prop. If I could just be at his level in height. If I could just stare him in the eyes. If he could stare me in the eyes. If he could just be normal sized. I would love him. Probably one of the best vampire props of all time. Hands down. 12 feet. I don't give a crap at that point. I'm not interested in buying it. He's going to be giant. And it's going to be ruined. Ruined. Thank you, Lowe's. Thank you, Techie. How about another one of those 12-footers? Because they sell. $200 more. Good job, guys. Already off to a great start. Let's move on. Next, we have this huge Scarecrow at 10 feet tall. I don't like this thing in the least. The arms look so dumb and goofy. I get what they were trying to go for, but I don't know why they had to put gloves on the ends. And crow, yeah, add stuff to Scarecrow. Why can't we just have 2 crows on each side of the arms and 3 crows on the other side? That would be pretty cool, right? But yeah, 1 tiny crow. I guess it adds. The face is generic, and I don't like SVI Scarecrow faces. It really looks like the Morse one, so I'm gonna think it's SVI. It's wearing a dirty rag with patches, and I just hate that. It's wearing a dirty napkin, for God's sake. And of course it has to be 10 feet tall. With giant scarecrows make sense. We don't need to see giant scarecrows all the time, is my point. I don't care what it does. It sucks. I don't know. People are already loving this thing. I don't get it. What's there to love? Go buy yourself a techie Scarecrow, for God's sake, because this thing is literally wearing a rag. Stop loving it. We've got this werewolf, which, I think the name is Full Moon Mayhem Werewolf, which is honestly a pretty cool name, but that list may be fake, so, might not be, I don't know. But anyway, pretty cool name. Let's move on. So the animation basically says he's going to howl at the moon and just look up to the moon. So technically, I think this is SVI. I'm going to call it SVI. It looks like SVI. Technically, SVI's take on Techie's Big Lots Wolf thing, which I honestly loved. And, werewolves howling at the moon. Normal thing to do with a werewolf, but yeah, pretty cool. I'm excited to see how this turns out. But I will make the statement, we might have already gotten the animation. I say that just because that Morse Costumes werewolf, that's a prototype for 2025. That's not releasing, by the way. Whoever wanted it to release kind of sucks. It obviously has the animation with its arms and head pointing up to the sky. Pretty lame, right? I wouldn't expect SVI to do anything more than that on this wolf, since it's doing exactly what the description would say. So, turns out this guy might not even have mouth movement, so that's pretty disappointing. But on the character itself, I do actually like how the werewolf looks. This might actually sound pretty weird, but I wish they just lost the shorts. A lot of pro werewolves just have a fully nature werewolf. I mean, it's not like you're gonna see anything, right? It doesn't even have a chest. So, yeah, big fluffy werewolf guy. I love how the fur tone looks. The face is pretty cool too. Just kind of an intimidating werewolf. Not excited for the animation, but, that could always change. He's fine. And next we have our second Plague Doctor of 2025 already. Honestly, worse than the Morse Costumes one. And that one freaking sucks. So, yeah, foreshadowing. But yeah, 2 Plague Doctors for 2024, 2 Plague Doctors for 2025, unless we get another one from who knows what. But this one sucks, and is honestly the worst Plague Doctor prop ever made. Why, you ask? The face, way too big. What the hell happens with the face? What's the point of holding the staff if it doesn't touch the ground? The sculpt sucks. The hands are miniature. It's obviously made by Jemmy, so that's going to tell you something about the quality. And the clothes are what angers me the most. Why, you may ask? Because. Why the frick does it have a dress? Now, I'm not trying to be discriminative, but Plague Doctors aren't supposed to be women. I'm just being historical and logical. But, so, I don't know why it would have a dress. You see, I think Jemmy got a little mixed up, and I think they didn't even look at a Plague Doctor photo when they were designing this thing, because Plague Doctors, maybe sometimes it looks like a dress, but I can assure you they don't have a dress on. They have a trench coat, which, is what every single Plague Doctor prop has up until today, where this one has a dress. So that is freaking weird, and it looks terrible on this thing, and the dress looks crappy and sucky, and the animation, let me guess, head turning. The audio, cat sounds. Yeah, like every other Jemmy prop. There's your Plague Doctor for 2025. It's short as hell, even with the hat. And it's gonna be like, let me think, $250? Yeah, I don't think so, Lowe's. Thanks for the offer. Now, like it says, this guy is a jump scare, obviously. And honestly, a pretty cool one at that. Of course, the main part about this guy is, of course, the jump scare. And since we don't have the animation yet, which honestly, I don't really care about animation on props that much, so I kind of just pay attention, or audio even. I kind of just pay attention to looks. But when it comes down to jump scares, that's where animation really matters. This is obviously going to be made by Techie. So whether if it's a pop-up pumpkin reskin from Party City, whether it's a Mr. Dark reskin, which I don't think they have the rights to do with the mechanism, but we will see. But the character, I think, looks really cool since we can't talk about the animation. I really like the character. They're going for like old Western this year, which I do like since Home Depot unfortunately canceled their Western stuff. Go check out Spooky Guy 444's video on that. But Lowe's seems to be doing some stuff like that. I mean, Western is pretty cool. I don't see a lot you could do with it, but I guess this guy looks like a mayor almost. I don't know what he's holding in that hand. You guys could probably tell me. I don't know why his hand is like pointing to his mouth. That's weird. Probably what he's gonna say maybe. And again, I love the face. Techie always does a good job with that. It doesn't really work that has a skirt. If he was supposed to be like a ghost, that would work better. But he's more zombified here, so I can't say that works great. Again, as a ghost, that would work better. But just, it looks kind of weird since he's almost supposed to be a human here. And since he has like a giant skirt jumping up, I don't know how that's going to add to realism. But he is pretty cool. I'll have to see how fast the jump scare is. So here we have the Balloon Dog Clown. This is one that, honestly, for it being a clown and all, it's not getting that much attention, which I'm pretty shocked by, obviously. These, clowns tend to steal all the hype, so that's something new, I guess. It's probably not getting attention for a reason. That reason is because a lot of people already hate it. And of course, you've got the clown lovers that love every single clown that doesn't even make sense. So, me, I actually really love this thing. And I'll tell you why. This, I'm pretty sure, is made by Jemmy, but I can't make any promises. Just because Jemmy likes to make this sort of clown. We saw that in the teddy bear clown from 23, which I was also a fan of. Why am I a fan of props like teddy bear clown and this clown? They're like antique, old-timey clowns that, as you can see by the face, are supposed to be humans. I'm kind of done with SVI clowns. They're starting to suck. Techie clowns are pretty good, but they're still your old monster clown with the claws and everything, At least they do something different, but hey, it's still the same concept all around. So, I'd like to see a couple human clowns now and then. Hopefully, one day we'll get more human clowns than monster clowns, because the human clowns are the scariest. This is a mix between, like, a human clown and an antique clown, and I can't say it's a monster clown. The only thing that makes him really a monster Halloween prop is, well, probably the phrase is, and those eyes. So, I think this is really cool, and since he's supposed to be a human, that makes him much more creepier to me. I love the creepy clowns. And honestly, he's much better than Teddy Bear Clown, hands down. I really, really love his clothes. I don't know why he has a Godly Saints hat, but that, I kind of honestly like that. That kind of adds to his character. I definitely like his clothes. Of course, the elephant in the room, or the dog in the room, the balloon dog. I wish it was on, like, a string, just like the illusion Heckles had. Or I wish he was walking it in a way, like the string was his leash. That would be pretty cool. But him holding it, I guess, is fine too. And maybe it's like he's giving it out to kids, so that would be fun. And people are complaining that the balloon dog has a face. Come on, that's freaking cool. I kind of love that. That's cool. That's scary. And again, that face, I love that face. The audio's probably gonna suck, but if the animation's good, I can't say I really dislike this thing because right now I'm kind of loving it, but we'll see in stores because who knows. This thing might turn out to be like 8 feet. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have a base, so we can hope. But yeah, Balloon Dog Clown is honestly pretty cool, one I'm excited for. This is like a much worse version of Rattles. Instead of there being a whole body and arms, hands, and a head. And they're probably not even going to be as big as the hands and head on Rattles. So, probably going to be double the price. Notice I didn't even take the time to edit this one clip. So, you get what you get. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time on this thing. It sucks. Now, I think another Gravedigger is very unnecessary, but this Gravedigger is honestly probably one of the best we've gotten, so I'm gonna make an exception. Again, I think we should kinda put a stop to Gravediggers just for a little while. We're getting a little too much, I do think, but again, this Gravedigger is really, really cool. I'll give it a pass. I just really love that face, obviously made by Techie, I don't know who else. He's very hunched over, which I really like. I definitely like this guy better than both, or all three, I should say, of the Home Depot Gravediggers. I've never really liked SVI Gravediggers.
His fearsome face is old and weathered.
I know they're a huge hit, usually, but I've never really liked them. This guy, I think, does everything the Home Depot Gravediggers do, but better, in my opinion. So already, here's another better Gravedigger. The face is really detailed. I wouldn't say it looks pro, but definitely really detailed and very, very creepy. I like how he has gloves. This Gravedigger does a lot that many Gravediggers don't. The boots are really cool too. I love the dark colors. This is how a Gravedigger is supposed to look, in my opinion. And this Gravedigger I found really cool that no other Gravediggers do. He finally has dirt on the shovel, which is something that really caught my eye. So good job, Techie, for, realizing life and how dirt works. Don't know why that hasn't happened before on other Gravediggers, but yeah, he did it, so finally, right? And animation, I don't know. Mouth movement, of course he's gonna talk. Lantern, I can't see too much with this guy, but he is cool and creepy, so I'll give him a pass. And here we have another fan favorite of Lowe's 2025 already. This one is getting hyped up a lot. And I can see this one being a huge seller, even though it's going to end up to be more than the keyboardist probably, because, look at the damn thing. Probably over $300 already, and it hasn't even come out. But, guess what? I'm here to talk about it. It sucks. Why does it suck? Why do I hate it so much? I wouldn't if the rest of the band wasn't in existence. If the rest of the band didn't exist, I would love this thing to death. I love the Target one that, by the way, has no fans. I just love that one. But I love this one. I would love it more. So, yes, I would be a fan of this thing, and I would probably have 2 in my room. But since the rest of the band exists, I freaking hate it. And it's terrible. Probably might be one of the worst of Lowe's this year. And that's saying a ton. Why are the colors so freaking blinding? Because he's a DJ. Take a look at the other Reapers. The lead Reaper is red. Why? To stand out. Why? Because he's the lead Reaper. And this guy's a DJ. So why would you want everybody's eyes to go straight to the DJ instead of the lead Reaper, instead of the keyboardist, instead of the guy with the freaking drums and the guitar? Why would the DJ be the star of the show? Why does he have these colors? It's like they're starting a whole different band with this guy, and they might actually be. Then I would like the whole band better, because then that's 2 separate bands. But if you're throwing this guy into that band, your band is gonna now suck. And I'm sorry. This guy sucks. He was a cool concept, and they had to screw it up. No, 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 no. Enough with the dumb witches. I just can't take the amount of cauldron stirring craps we're getting in the industry right now. Just nobody wants to buy your dumb witches holding cauldrons, SVI. Pretty sure this is SVI. We'll know for sure later. But SVI, just F off. Stop with the witches. Stop with the clowns, man. Just take a break with the gravediggers. Just sit back in a chair. Come on. Take a freaking break. They seem to be doing the same stuff all over again. And whether it's a unique idea, it's fitting into the same category. So, just take a break, SVI. The face is really cool. I wish we had that on another witch that wasn't stirring a cauldron, because then that would be a really unique idea and maybe even a creepy witch. But since she has that stupid cauldron, it's not. The bone gets points. The cauldron sucks. I hate how the fire is printed on. And all in all, it's just another cauldron witch that is going to be an online only that's going to suck and nobody's going to know about it. So, there you go, making no money. I don't know what the hell has been going on with this guy these past few days, because it obviously says 10 feet, which would be really, really cool. And then Halloween Decorating Fanatics, obviously gets credit for all of this, been posting all of this stuff, so we should take advice from Halloween Decorating Fanatics. They say, the spiders, wait, it's actually 3.5 feet, which that's a little less cool. So I don't know what to go off of. It's a really cool spider, though. I like how it's not realistic. That's been a lot of people's complaints, but I like that. It makes it super cartoony. And again, I think that works in its favor for a 10-foot spider. 3 feet, I don't know, maybe they couldn't have gone realistic route at that point. I can definitely see why it would be 3 feet because of it has no freaking base, if nobody noticed. So it would be pretty unrealistic to have this guy just balancing at 10 feet. But 10 feet would be crazy, 10 feet would be nuts, 10 feet would be awesome, and 10 feet would probably get this guy up to $800. 3 feet, I could see this guy at still $400. So that was Lowe's 2025 Halloween animatronic lineup, and of course a bunch of bummers and a bunch of good ones in there. There's not really any mid ones. I find myself really getting into the mid in some of these lineups, but it's either pretty good or pretty bad when it comes to this one. And I definitely think this one is a little worse than last year's. I think 2023 and 2024 for Lowe's were great, honestly. And this year, people are saying is the best. No. 2024 was great. 2023 was great. I don't know what happened this year, but hey, we've only gotten to part 1. And if you read the names on the list, there are so many more props to come out. So who knows? Maybe this could be the best year. And again, there are some good ones in there. The only mid one I could think about was probably the Wolf. But, we haven't gotten much demos. We haven't gotten any demos. And yeah, I'm excited to see what they put out next. So thanks for watching. As always, Digital Pumpkin Cat, like and subscribe.